Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video.
Chat, we got the disturbing world of unknown cults, and we got my boy Tuv on this shit. Let's get it.
More on them later. Hello everyone, my name is Tuv, and today we're going to be talking about the disturbing world of unknown cults.
Sorry about some.
In this
Ooh, chat, you know how I am with ads and intros. I skip over them bitches.
Rialism. Did aliens create humans? Well, most of us would probably think a little bit before answering that, but for members in the
If you have to think before answering that, seek an asylum. Throw yourself in a padded room. There shouldn't be a thought to go in your mind.
Alien Church, the answer is an instant yes. In fact, this is one of their core beliefs, also known as Ryalianism. I hope I pronounced that right, or else this is going to be episode 8000 of Tuv mispronouncing something. Anyway, this movement believes that Elohim, a species.
If this is your leader, bro, just... I don't know, bro.
From out there in outer space, used their advanced technology to create humanity some 25,000 years ago. So if that's the case, then where does the God that so many cultures believe in come from? Well, this UFO movement believes that Elohim, our creators, have historically been mistaken for gods. And just to clarify here, Ryalism is an atheistic movement, which means they do not believe in deities or their existence at all. Actually, most of this cult's belief is simply...
Yo, atheist, this yo man, Raphael announces the effects of physics and the physics of was it in something, bro. This is all in French, bro. Whoa, bro, cult drip is kind of fire.
Centered on the Elohim species, and them coming back and some sexual liberty. Their
Dude.
leader, Claude Vorilhon, a former journalist and racer who began the whole thing back in the 1970s in France,
Dude, he
believes
had
that the
been
Elohim
dripping since the 1970s, bro.
created 40 human hybrids that have been prophets that tell the world what the true origin of human beings is. And can you guess who the 40th prophet is? None other than Claude himself. Others on the list include Jesus, Elijah.
Dude, and people be like, bro, isn't it so convenient that you're the next prophet? Who else would it be, bro? Who else would it be? He's obviously coming here with this new information, this new science. Who else better to do it than the person that knows all about it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, the 40th prophet is actually you. Like, shut the fuck. Of course it's going to be him. He knows all this shit. He knows what the fuck he's talking about, right? Why wouldn't it be him?
Elijah, Muhammad, and Buddha. Claude, who published these claims in a 1974 book titled Le Livre qui dit la vérité.
The book of what the... I don't know what vérité means.
Also known as the book that tells the truth. Also maintains that since the Hiroshima bomb of 1945, humans entered the age of apocalypse, which then triggered the need to use scientific and technological developments for peaceful purposes. Apparently only when this is accomplished will the Elohim return to share their own tech with humanity and hence establish a utopia. This return, as Claude was told by the Elohim, might happen in 2035. Pretty fascinating so far, but
I like how you said it might happen in 2035. Chat, you always need that security blanket, right? Because these cults, especially these like cults that start doing these date type shit, that's a crazy pause, but this date type shit where they're like, oh, in this exact date, the blah 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 is gonna happen. Like, most likely not.
There's a lot more. For instance, they also believe in human cloning, something that creates the hopes of immortality for them. They made these baby cloning remarks back in 2001, where they claimed the ability to do so at a fee of $200,000
I'd rather die. I'd rather die. Don't clone me. Die. Dying is cheaper. Dude, the drip, chat. We can't knock this man's drip. Maybe there's something to it, bro.
Per baby. Once the media picked up on the story,
drip, bro, if I was a cult leader, I'ma have to be dripped out. Some of these bros be dressed like vagabonds off the street. I can't believe a shit that you saying. If God don't choose no filthy, cleanliness is close to godliness. And this boy's clean as fuck. This boy's clean as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Cleanliness
the FDA
is close to
quickly shut them
godliness.
down after. And then, rather oddly, sexual experimentation, as I've hinted, seems to be a big part of their movement. They encourage...
Yeah, I already know he was gonna smash his followers. It was just a matter of time.
free love, and tend to view sex as a natural, vital, and healthy aspect of life. At first
well, I have to smash your wife if you want me to unlock her Elohim.
glance, this may seem a little bit harmless. It's just some weird cult having some orgies, probably. Okay, until you realize that Claude has been described as a sex maniac who abuses his power.
Oh wow, a sex maniac? No way. A person that says sex is vital to their relationship with the whatever the fuck he was talking about, space aliens or whatever,
to have sex with the women that follow him. It's also been said that what they call sensual meditation, an example of which happened in 1974, involves members stripping naked and pleasuring themselves openly. And during it, the men persuade the women to have sex with them in order to become more fulfilled. This has also been viewed as a breeding ground for SA of minors, as there were
oh wow, who would have guessed? I would have. Me.
Accusations where two members violated an underage person, with allegedly her mother allowing it all to happen, which is just
this is the world we live in, bro.
So disgusting.
Bro, if Earth is on the intergalactic scale, bro, if aliens see Earth, bro, they see Earth as a trap house, bro. They see Earth as like a drug-infested trap house. And I don't blame them. Aliens must look at our planet and be like, this shit is a slum. This shit is a slum. Half of these people are high out of their minds and the other half are deviants. This is insane. And then we have a small percentage of people who have some semblance of sense, but they don't have any power, so it doesn't really matter.
I actually don't think I can overstate just how much sexual stuff goes on in this cult. It's probably just easier to say that there seems to be almost no rules when it comes to sex. At least, more rules for the women and less for men. That's what I'm getting from this. Men, even the married ones, are told they're...
This is drip, chat. You cannot tell me this ain't no fire-ass photo. He said something. I'm looking clean, and he said, I'm gonna look out. Boy, that's some fire-ass drip, bruh. That is some fire-ass drip. You can't tell me this shit ain't hard, bro.
Women cannot be monogamous. Sexual release is seen as...
Oh my gosh. It's like Mormonism on steroids, bro. Women can't be monogamous. You can't have a wife. That's an insult to the Elohim, bro. Elohim are multifaceted creatures, brother.
Welcoming the Elohim, open air sex is encouraged, and the list goes on. Then, of course,
bro, they just freaky, bro. They just freaky. They saying, how freaky can I get? How freaky can I get? Open air booty. You know what I'm saying? He said, I want that stink to be out in the air, bro. I want them pheromones, bro.
Claude, as a representative of the Elohim, gets privileges of his own, which includes the Order of the Angels. And it's just a bunch of young women that have been chosen to welcome the Elohim. Look, man, as much as I could get into detail, I am not going to. YouTube kind of scared me with the age restriction stuff, but basically, it's just manipulation and abuse of young adults, and mainly women. But not to say there's not men, it's both. But yeah, it's pretty disgusting and pretty fucking weird. If you do want to learn more about this specific topic, there is a Netflix documentary. It goes way deeper than what I just covered.
Chat, you're not getting any coochie if you join the cult. I'm gonna be 100% honest. You're not gonna hit. You're not gonna. I know what you're thinking. Man, maybe if I join the Elohim, I'm gonna get some coochie. He's not gonna let you hit, champ. He gonna say you not ready for the Elohim coochie, bruh. That shit intergalactic coochie, bruh. You said that's some space coochie. Your earthly self ain't ready for that shit. It gonna blow your little earth mind.
And it even follows up with some court cases. But yeah, shout out to that documentary. Let's head on to the next cult.
Boy, this is like Diddy House, boy. You think you gonna get some coochie until he tell you to strip. You think you gonna get some coochie until he tell you to strip. Until he tell you, shit, if you wanna be connected with the Elohim, he gonna get on these LO knees, buddy.
Takashi Nakagawa's Happy Science. Cults in general will have a lot of things going on, but Happy Science is one of those that leave you fascinated by the amount of weirdness that cult leaders can dish out only in the name of belief. We're talking about rivalry.
Hold on, chat. We gotta rate this cult leader's drip. So we had the other one. We had the other guy. Hold on. Let's get a good look at his drip. Fire drip. The all white We had the gold medallion. Boy looking like a damn... Boy, he looking like a 80s rapper, boy. He looking fly as hell. I'm not gonna lie. But now let's look at this motherfucker's drip. Hold on. Let's go back. Bruh, the all gold suit, that shit's tacky as hell. This, the thing that's going over, that's kind of fire. It all matches, chat. It all matches. So we're not gonna shame him for this all gold suit, but dog, just having a glittery all gold suit in your crib, that's kind of fucking whack. I'm not gonna hold you. But let's see.
This is one of those that leave you fascinated by the amount of weirdness that cult leaders can dish out only in the name of belief. We're talking about rivalry with other cults, fake UFOs, channeling spirits of the people, dead or alive, reincarnation, fake COVID.
Oh, so that motherfucker was going for the gold. He's going for the gold in the literal and metaphorical sense.
Cures, and there's honestly a lot more that goes on. Believe me, this video could be 12 hours long, but we're just gonna take a look at the messier parts. So first, the basics. Happy Science was started by Takashi Nakagawa.
Damn, he was not dripping at all. See, when I see this vagabond on the street, I don't believe bullshit he's saying, bruh. Now let me catch this, bro, when the all white drip talking about some. Bro, I know the secrets. I bet you do.
A Japanese man who, while pursuing quite a successful Wall Street trading career,
he ain't got no medallion, he ain't got no nothing, bro.
The early 80s, got the conviction that he needed to take on the responsibility of Wall Street trading career. Takashi Nakagawa, a Japanese man who, while pursuing quite a successful Wall Street trading career in the early 80s, got the conviction that he needed to take on the responsibility.
There's always these successful Wall Street people, right? These successful... Oh, I used to work on Wall Street people that go out and then try to start these courses. It's like, how successful were you, though? I worked on Wall Street. Yeah, you were successful, but you wouldn't be doing all this bullshit if you were, right? This extra bullshit.
Of saving the world from ruin. His version of events was that he was in contact with, quote, wise men from the past, like Buddha and Jesus, who told him he was chosen to spiritually redeem this wretched world. Armed with that conviction, he went back to Japan, abandoning his trader career, changed his name to Ryuho Okawa, and began self-publishing spiritual books with titles like The Terrifying Revelations of Nostradamus and The Great Warnings of Allah. These books became instant hits, and followers began streaming in. Initially, he just claimed to be able to channel spirits from the past, like being a reincarnation of Buddha, but then his claims got larger and crazier by the day, to a point where he settled on being a supreme deity, a rebirth El Kantare.
He settled on being the supreme deity. He so like God was giving him all these options. He said, "Man, bro, you could be prophet, you could be God, universe of the world, you could be king of all man." He said, "No. I'm a humble dude. I'm just gonna be selling on supreme deity. All right, I don't want no." God was like, damn, bro, you humble as hell. Supreme deity, that's it. He's like, yep, that's it, bro. Supreme deity.
A god from Venus. Now, of course, with increased followers.
I ain't catch the last part.
A rebirth El Kantare, a god from Venus. Now, of course, with increased followers.
He ain't sell for he sell for supreme deity god of Venus. He said they offered him ruler of the universe, but he said, "I'm gonna sell for supreme deity god of Venus." He's a humble man, chat.
Followers, filled stadiums, where he'd do stuff like hop out of a pretend UFO, and lots of publications. According to the website, that's 3,150 books published. Money began flowing in, and so did the prestige. In fact, the organization grew from a relatively small group, just Okawa and a staff of 4 in Suginami, Tokyo, to a worldwide movement with a claimed 11 million followers and thousands of missionaries in over 165 countries. The revenue estimates were as much as $45 million a year. I mean,
yeah. Dude, it's always these, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Be wary of these motherfuckers coming out from Wall Street, bro. Because every time these people come out from Wall Street, somehow, right, they come up with a new tech. Bro, I feel like Wall Street is actually like a psychological battleground. And they feel like, damn, I can't win in this group of people because everyone's either too smart or just trying to manipulate me. So I'm gonna go out to the public
I mean, they did well enough to put their headquarters right here in the US, Tribeca, New York. Now, away from the money, while Happy Science began with claims of being a study group on human happiness, its later years have been nothing close to that. For instance, during the COVID-19 pandemic, they were selling coronavirus-themed CDs and DVDs of lectures by Mr. Okawa, claiming that
during the coronavirus pandemic, you're selling DVDs? Who the fuck has a DVD player?
His voice alone held immune boosting power. And as if to double down, in Japan, they were selling virus-related blessings for anywhere from $100 to more than $400.
Damn, also, chat, you can't put a price on happiness. That motherfucker just did. He said you could have. Now I could bless you for $100, but if you want your whole family blessed, that's gonna be $400. Shit, man.
Sometime in 2020, Okawa decided to make a film, an in-house production written by Sayaka Okawa, his daughter, and focusing on none other than Okawa himself. Titled Immortal Hero, it was a work of fiction based on true events of Okawa's journey to being a spiritual leader. Reviews, though, said it was laughably bad. And quick plot summary, the character who plays him in the film gets a fatal heart condition that leaves him hospitalized, but then refuses treatment against the advice of doctors, and reverses the condition through, quote, the power of his mind. Yes, it's a weird plot, but it's seemingly normal for the stuff he was already writing about. But what is a little bit creepy is that he actually died due to cardiac arrest. That was in March of last year in a hospital in Tokyo, and he was
Damn, bro. That bro was locked in spiritual warfare, you know what I'm saying? Shit. He said no.
66. His death, as probably would any other key figures, brought up stories from his past, some of which, as I mentioned in the beginning, are very fascinating. He, for instance, denounced his first family around 2011, calling them demonic. This was after his wife left the group and threw shade at him, revealing his true followership was probably just 30,000 and not in the claimed millions. 30,000, huh? Bro has the same amount of followers as I have monthly listeners on Spotify. It was also after his son and critic,
tough. Calm
Hiroshi
down.
Okawa, who was supposed to be a successor at one point, revealed that Okawa, quote, relentlessly lied to his followers. Interesting.
That man has a shirt of him.
Also is that a few years earlier in 2008, he had also tried his hand at Japanese politics, starting his own party, Happiness Realization Party, but with very little success. And equally as fascinating was his rivalry with Shoko Asahara, the leader of the Aum Shinrikyo cult. The rivalry
I don't advise beefing with this dude. Out of all the cults you could beef with, it's like, why him? This dude will literally gas your ass up. He will have you gasping for air, a loss of breath. He will. This dude is not somebody to mess with. This dude has bodies under his belt, bruh.
Which Asahara mocked Okawa's superficial knowledge of Buddhism, culminated in an assassination attempt on Okawa in 1995 by.
What did I say, bro? What did I say? This dude does not take criticism. He does not.
Shinrikyo. Yeah, we're actually going to talk about that later in this video. So, really cool that this had a connection.
Hold on. Boom. All right, we're back. Let's get into it.
$1,150. I wouldn't doubt they're making some decent money. If there's even one loyal follower that's like, oh, I gotta collect all of them like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid collection, you know? They're probably making decent money. But yeah, that's really it for Happy Science. Let's move on to the next one. Bradley Cadenhead 764. Now we've covered a lot.
If you're following somebody that has numbers after their name, you're a whole goofy. I'm not even gonna.
A lot of dark topics, especially when it comes to the internet on this channel, and this is one of them. 764.
You're at least these cults. These people are getting laid, bro. This cult seems like, bruh.
Term satanic cult is one such wave.
Joining a satanic cult out of all things, bro, is the lamest, goofiest. I want attention like shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. Bro, we worship Satan. Like, why, bro? That man's literally the devil, bro. Why would you want to worship that? Bro, because I'm edgy. I'm edgy. Yeah, you are edgy.
Suspected to consist of hundreds of members, boys to even men in their mid-40s, 764 is basically an online extortion ring deliberately going after minors, forcing them to record or live.
So it's Epstein's Island, huh? The Epstein cult.
Stream very inappropriate things and dealing those clips on the dark web, based on what the authorities have said and some court records of cases.
Why? Like, bro, this is, I worship Satan and I'm a pedophile. Makes sense. Makes sense. Those two go together like bread and butter. I ain't gonna hold you.
Against some of the members, it's confirmed that the group mainly targets people of color, people part of the LGBT, and
why? What does this even? Why does this?
Those clips on the dark web, based on what the authorities have said and some court records of cases against some of the members. It's confirmed that the group mainly targets people of color, people part of the LGBT, and people dealing with mental illnesses like depression. Now, before we get into where they came from and why they do it, first we should take a look into how. And here the consensus is that they use well-known and seemingly
they use Roblox. Chat, if you haven't known, I know what game they're playing right now. And if this is the game they're playing and this is what you look like, I don't even know, bro. I don't even
harmless social platforms to lure these minors. For instance, they set bait in highly popular gaming chats like Roblox and Minecraft, or on social media platforms like Discord, Twitch, and interestingly enough, apparently, playlist on SoundCloud. They use threads.
Playlist on SoundCloud. How the hell? I would love to know how you, not love to know. Actually, I want to know. I want to know a single thing that you do.
Blackmail and manipulation to get clips of these minors doing very inappropriate acts, which they then share with their peers on Telegram, which happens to also be their base of operation. Notably, these groups have as many as 5,000 active members at a time, and sadly, it doesn't stop there, because once clips are shared on Telegram, other members pick them up and continue to terrorize these innocent kids for more control. And also,
why don't we just start doing public executions? Just start bludgeoning people to death. Because it's clearly not making sense.
Also, as I mentioned, trade them on the dark web. They do all this apparently with the end goal being to gain notoriety and rise in status within their group. That's sort of
what you get the silver ranked pedophile, you get the silver P. Oh man, this bro, you're a legend. Like what?
Answers the why.
I can't imagine anybody but fat, pimpled face, greasy, just absolute nobodies, bro. Never seen the light of day, bro. If like, I bet you if you met one of these people, like they're like one of those people that ride in the scooter things in Walmart, bro. These people, like, if you actually insult them, they might disintegrate, my guy. Their self-esteem has to be absolutely the lowest of low.
Question, to which then leaves us with who are these guys and where did they come from? Well, they are apparently an offshoot of Order of Nine Angels, aka O9A, one of the vilest perpetrators of terrorist ideology around, guided by their affinity for violence and known for their worship of Hitler, Satanism, and pieces of the wicked.
You worship Hitler? Bro, at some point you have to grow up. Like, I know half of these people in this group are like, their IQ is of a level of equivalent to that of 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you have to grow up. Worshipping Hitler, bro? Come on, bro. Get a grip.
Religion. Wiccans are known for their witchcraft practices.
You're a Wiccan? Makes sense, honestly. Makes absolute sense. Just like nonsense.
Creators of terrorist ideology around, guided by their affinity for violence and known for their worship of Hitler, Satanism, and pieces of the Wiccan religion.
Pieces of the Wiccan religion. I wish you guys were Wiccans. I wish they were just regular people that just like time and have crow's feathers in their room or some shit. I don't know.
Known for their witchcraft practices, spells, rituals, and magical traditions. Surprisingly, part of this information, that 7-6.
This dude posted this and thinks he's so hard. I smoke weed, have a gun, and have whatever this shit is. I hope your mom beats you regularly. I hope your mom just body slams you, RKOs you every single day. Just grabs your head and slams it into the drywall. Gun-toting Queen Satanist named Angel Face Child. Like this? Are you serious? Bro, I'm hard. I'm hard. I'm hard. Bro, you don't look hard, bro. You look very, very weak, bro.
764 was affiliated with O9A, came to
No
light
one thinks
after
you're
one of the
cool.
members,
In fact, you're
23-year-old Angel
disgusting.
Almeida, was arrested for gun possession in Queens, New York. The FBI was tipped regarding Almeida's social media, where he had been sharing images of violence against animals and kids. In the raid on his apartment, they found a 9mm handgun.
He had an apartment? I'm surprised he owned anything. I'm surprised he didn't find them raiding his mom's basement.
And books about O9A. However, an item that stood out about the raid was a, quote, blood covenant, something common with O9A members. In this case,
he did it with a Zodiac killer. Dude, if I was a police officer, I would beat you. I would turn off my body cam, bro. Because this would make me cringe so hard, bro. I'm like, in prison, I'm gonna get you the extra slippery soap because this shit is... Somebody gotta knock some sense into you.
It was a blood-smeared drawing, a hooded figure with glowing red eyes. At the bottom, the drawing was signed, "A covenant signed in blood. May the devil walk with you always. Seidene Manibus," a common O9A oath. The last phrase, just so you know...
This is so nasty, first of all. Because I know it's your blood, and I'm assuming you have hepatitis. And then I'm just assuming you have every STI. I'm just assuming that because you just look like a creature that would get STIs without ever interacting with a female or a person, just never having sex, and somehow you just got it. You're the type.
Means by Satan's hand. It's Latin. Now, I should emphasize that 764's activities have been extremely devastating, affecting thousands of people, including hundreds of minors, to the point where the FBI issued a public service announcement against them. That announcement, which identifies some threats issued to victims...
FBI, put a bounty on their heads, bro. Put a bounty on their heads. Watch that group fall apart as they turn themselves in.
764, as including swatting and doxing, was issued on September 12, 2023, and happens to be the first time that 764 has ever been formally mentioned by any US law enforcement agency. And again, just to emphasize the scale of their operation, in 2023 alone, Discord apparently blocked 130 groups and 34,000 accounts associated with them. Now, that FBI PSA was accompanied by several arrests of members, including Angel Almeida, Bradley Cadenhead, Chandler Pong.
Can we just start like rapid fire execution? Just trial boom, trial boom, trial boom. Like, this should just...
Kalana Limkin, and a minor in Romania. And rather shockingly, the origins of 764...
How do you even join this, like, bruh?
Also got traced to one of these members, 16-year-old Bradley Cadenhead from Stephenville, Dallas, Texas.
All these people look like they smell, bro. Like, when they talk to you, like, their teeth is just... rotted out they mouth,
764 is actually the zip code for Stephenville. What's unnerving about all this, though?
Stupid ass. Oh, hell no. Don't dox yourself.
Is that as of the publication of an extensive investigative report on the group in 2024, it was noted that they have grown in number since 2021, and that social network moderators are struggling to keep them at bay. Kotama Okada's Mahikari. If you search Mahikari on Google, you are likely to end up on the Tsukio Mahikari website, where the About section talks of light energy that purifies the spiritual part of people, and also about organic gardening as a spiritual practice. Generally, reading through the website, this self-described nonprofit spiritual and community service organization looks and feels very appealing and forward-thinking. That's especially on matters of environmental conversation. I mean, they did get a Tsukio Mahikari Day, which would be September 27th in Honolulu.
How do you find
Lulu for a 10-year
How much did they pay for that shit? How much did they pay for that shit? That shit's that's crazy.
Streak of beach and park cleanup. They also got accolades.
Damn. Yo, this is the group you need to be a part of, bro. Beach cleanup, helping the environment, taking care of yourself, bro. This shit is... I'm rocking with this.
An LA Mayor, James Hahn, in 2004 for helping create a peaceful and harmonious society. However, underneath all of this, there are layers of deception, shaming, and a host of other dangerous practices that are hallmarks of cultic organizations. And just so you know, this is not my assessment. Several ex-members have described their time being there as being in a cult. One member, let's call her Lopez, for example, talked of how she joined the cult from a simple interaction with a work colleague. We can call him Fred, where Fred healed her headache through spiritual energy. She soon got introduced to this energy, true divine light, and a lot of other religious practices, including the Kenshu, a spiritual initiation ceremony where one is finally allowed to carry and reciprocate the light, signified by wearing the omitama, a holy pendant. Although ascending through ranks and making inroads in this newfound organization, she later realized that behind the curtains, the teachings were manipulative and the whole experience was isolating. One example was being taught.
Yo, I don't know. I can't speak on her experience, but I mean, what it seems like they're doing for the community, beach cleanup, that shit is, it could be worse, bro. You could be in the Diddy cult, tuning it up.
The pendant, Omitama, was more precious than one's own life. The fact that this was taught to teens was even more problematic. Kotama Okada, the leader, who described himself as the second messiah, also had part of his teachings affecting followers in devastating ways. Lopez says she saw her followers abandoning medicine, delaying hospital visits, and suffering severe symptoms that even led to death. The staff were also not spared, as some of the trainees and priests, completely with no possessions and at the mercy of the Mahikari centers, were severely sleep deprived, spending hours on end giving light to people. Apparently, the more elevated you were in the organization, the less sleep you needed. What I find more startling about this group is that its origin, story, and progression are much like how Happy Science began. First, it's just so similar that Kotama Okada took on his divine responsibility after an encounter with a white-haired elderly man in an astral world during a fever dream. This encounter termed...
Damn, bro, that's kind of crazy. Maybe they got something. Maybe they're tripping on the same shit.
Kamigakari is what allowed him to go on and start, quote, Sunlight Children Friends Association. That's what the institution was called back then in 1959. It also allowed him to change his name to Kotama, aka Jewel of Light, and cleanse the world of sin. And again, just like Happy Science, he expanded to the US and other parts of the world, with follower counts in 1970 being quoted as anywhere between 300,000 to 400,000 members. Now, while there are a number of smaller controversies around this cult, one particular one that unsettled things a bit was the debunking of Kotama's claim of Japan being the birthplace of everything. It was found that the scientific proof behind this was simply faked findings after a Japanese archaeologist planted fake pottery. This actually turns out to be one of the reasons Lopez, the ex-member, began questioning a lot of the other things within the organization and eventually leaving. Then, even more bizarre, is the link between Mahikari and, again, the troubled Aum Shinrikyo cult, responsible for a gas attack on the Tokyo subway. It's alleged that Shimada Yasuko, a Japanese-born Australian citizen who helped establish Tsukio Mahikari in Australia, also helped them purchase a 500,000-acre farm in that same location, being Australia, where not only did they do some sort of scientific experiments, but also caused a mysterious seismic activity. I also have to add that the group had been in trouble before when it donated over $110,000 to start a Japanese cultural center at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Some call Mahikari anti-Semitic and fascist.
Probably not the best idea to start, try to do a Mahikari center at. It's like going to your church and then me start preaching. We can no, that's kind of crazy.
Noting that its ideology justified the Holocaust as a punishment inflicted on the Jews.
Hold on, what?
Cultural Center at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Some call Mahikari anti-Semitic and fascist, noting that its ideology justified the Holocaust as a punishment inflicted on the Jews for failing to...
I would not say any of this unless the person who's running this Mahikari was saying this shit, but they probably were pissed off the fact that you're trying to start basically preaching at the same place they preach. That probably was pissing them off.
Save King Solomon's Temple. Pretty unsettling stuff overall. Julius Schachnau's The Work. In the early 1970s, a charismatic Brooklyn-born man, Julius Schachnau, began a movement that, while having humble beginnings in New Jersey, grew to become a thriving apocalyptic cult in Connecticut that can only be summed up as fascinating. Described as having a beard, long hair, and green eyes, this man, who also had a liking for white robes, had somehow convinced his followers, as many as 300...
so far, bro, I haven't seen anybody... Hold on, let's look at the drip. Dude, but this is like Japanese drip, bro. This is like Japanese kimono drip. This drip, he was dripping all through his lifetime, bro. He was dripping all through his lifetime. So I really can't. I don't know, bro. I don't know. This guy, this is what I'm saying. This ragabond come up to me.
The Work. In the early 1970s,
it's so crazy that everyone uses a Star of David. You know that? You see how that works?
Charismatic Brooklyn-born man, Julius Shacknow, began a movement that, while having humble beginnings in New Jersey, grew to become a thriving apocalyptic cult in Connecticut that can only be summed up as fascinating. Described as having a beard, long hair, and green eyes, this man, who also had a liking for white robes,
come on, like, what? You're in a brown shirt, bruh.
had somehow convinced his followers, as many as 300 at the cult's
It's not
peak,
even like a cool brown shirt. It's like a regular
that
one.
he was a reincarnated Jesus Christ. He had also declared himself as an oracle of God, with a mission to save mankind from the evil on earth. According to him, this meant that he could judge the sinners and also heal people of addictions and illnesses. But just like you've seen with the last cult, there is a stomach-turning catch.
Oops.
He declared that salvation was only obtainable through having sex with him, and he made it.
Seems like salvation is always at the tip of a penis. You know what I'm saying? Just one diddy party away from salvation. That's all it seems. It very much seems so. Chat, don't worry, chat. Here, you can reach salvation by hitting that subscribe button.
A very clear loophole that allowed him to do that. You see, having declared himself as a reincarnation of Christ, according to him, it meant he didn't know about sin. So then how do you get to know about sins? Easy.
Oh. He was like, guys, I have something to tell you. Those healing hands, well, you know when they nailed my hands to the cross? Yeah. That kind of messed up my healing powers. So, bad news and good news. There's only one, like, you're good. Yeah, just thinking with my head here. Like, bruh.
By taking part in them. In fact, that's why he also called himself the sinful Messiah and called the sect.
Oh, that makes sense. I could not. How did this make sense to anybody in any type of dimension? Like, how did this make sense to anybody in any type of dimension? No, like how? Like actually how? I'm a reincarnated Jesus Christ, but I don't know about sins because what was his bullshit explanation? I have no idea. Because he was reincarnated? Reincarnation gives you amnesia?
Declared that salvation was only obtainable through having sex with him, and he made a very clear loophole that allowed him to do that. You see, having declared himself as a reincarnation of Christ, according to him, it meant he didn't know about sin. So then,
where in the book does it say Jesus Christ did not know about sin? He was like a little baby walking around, a grown baby man. You think reincarnation actually gives you amnesia, bro. And specifically amnesia about sin. Yeah.
Then how do you get to know about sins? Easy, by taking part in them. In fact,
somebody couldn't tell you? No. I'm blind and deaf to sin. I must involve myself.
That's why he also called himself the sinful Messiah and called the sex God's work. Using this perspective, Shacknow justified a lot of abuse on the cult's members. There were allegations that even beyond his members, he sexually assaulted his own family. He was a father of 5 and a husband to 7. His stepdaughter accused him of SA, stating that he preyed on her when she was only 11 and didn't stop until she turned 18. Now, pretty sickening behavior, but beyond the polygamy and sexual perversion, Shacknow had even more stuff going on. For instance, he sold his followers a mission that he called The Work, basically a holy mission that needed to be advanced before the apocalypse, and they did so quite successfully. They built and expanded real estate and construction businesses to a peak of around $100 million in yearly sales. Yes, this somehow unknown cult ventured into real estate and was successful.
Damn, bro. Like God said, you know what I'm saying? God said, sell them houses, man. Buy that land, damn it. How are we going to build the kingdom of God if we have no land to build it on?
Operation of the businesses, I guess because Shacknow was busy with the other stuff, had been under his chief apostle, Paul Sweetman, and his wife, Joanne Sweetman, aka the Holy Spirit. Shacknow only encouraged the members during their 6-hour Sunday services. He encouraged them to give their utmost best to the business, while the Sweetmans did the rest. And the rest here includes Jayanne North, also known as Century 21. their 5 franchise real estate company headquarters, which did major works around town. Weirdly, by the end of the 80s, these businesses collapsed, something which then began a series
guys, you're gonna want to see this.
of misfortunes, including scores of members deserting the cult. One key misfortune, though, is the murder of a series of misfortunes, including scores of members deserting the cult. One key misfortune, though, is the murder of the chief apostle, Paul Sweetman. As I've already said, Paul was a key figure in running the cult's businesses, given he'd been sued in 2000 for fraudulently taking a $3.2 million loan from a Hamden bank. However, when the cult's business collapsed, and after Julius died in 96, there was a tussle as to who should take over and control things. This tussle lasted
the tussle for what? For the nothing?
For years, and in 2004, it led to the death of Paul. Joanne, his wife.
Damn, that tussle went to 0 to 100.
And also Julius's ex-wife, had reported him missing on July 24th, 2004, and nobody seemed to be able to tell where he'd gone. It wasn't until 2014 that police found one of his legs buried at a golf course. A lengthy investigation then ensued and led Rudy Hannon, age 72, and Sorik Minery, age 42, former members of the cult, being charged. They had killed Paul by stripping him naked and leaving him in a freezer, believing he was hurting Joanne and that God would want them to do so. They then
Damn, God wants people to do strange things, man. Crazy.
And cut him up and buried his body in different locations. Hannon, who also happened to be Julius's real brother, had apparently spent months convincing Minery that the death needed to happen. A surprising detail is that although they did it together, Hannon, years after the killing, would blackmail Minery into sending him money, telling him it was either that or he would snitch on what they did. Oh, and this whole murder plot...
That's insane work. Give me money or I'm gonna go to the police. It's like, all right, go.
As it was discovered in court, was orchestrated, or rather set in motion, by Joanne Sweetman over a battle over profits. Joanne died in 2011, though, before most of these things came to light. Hannon died in 2022.
Manage money as a family with the Venmo Teen account, available for ages 13 to 17.
And it's kind of crazy you talk. Dude, you know what's the craziest thing? People blackmail the worst type of people. This man just got done killing a person, and you're like, oh, yeah, give me money or I'm going to go to the police. Oh, like, don't blackmail a killer, a known killer. Because guess what he might just do? He might kill you.
Age 77, after contracting COVID-19, Minery, 47 now, got 20 years in prison. And as I already mentioned, Julius himself died years earlier in July 96. His cause of death was never revealed, with the only available detail being that he died in his sleep on a Sunday at the home of one of his unofficial wives.
Damn.
Daniel Perez's Angel's Landing. In the slim chance that you've heard of Angel's Landing, you'd be likely to have heard of it in 2015, mainly because that's when its leader was prosecuted and it got featured in an episode of Dateline titled Angels and Demons. Suspected to have begun back in the early 2000s, this cult was not only set up to exploit members, but also to do so in a rather disgusting way. But first, who began it all? Well, it was the work of Daniel Perez, also known as Lou Castro, a man born in 1959 in Aransas Pass, Texas.
Chat, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. If you're in any type of group and they say give up your booty for the betterment of this organization, please leave. Leave, bro. Leave. Your booty ain't gonna help nobody, bro. Your booty, as much as you think you got the assets, your booty ain't an asset, bro. Your booty can't be written off as a tax deductible, bro.
Perez created a traveling commune that journeyed across the country and convinced his followers that he was hundreds of years old, an angel that could see the future and cure diseases due
I would just
to his magical powers. All that is a bit strange, but there's more. Apparently, to continue enjoying his services, there was a catch. And this is where it gets a little hard to explain with the YouTube censorship, but basically, he would essay the people's children. Documents from the Kansas Bureau of Investigation.
Oh, that's the catch? You lost me. You couldn't catch me. I guess you couldn't catch me, man. I guess you couldn't catch me. You lost me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't even know where I'm at right now. Cause you have me lost. I don't know. How was that? And parents were like, yeah. They're like, and you're gonna be like, that guy, he was a master manipulator. You tell me this dude pulls up to you. What could he say? And what And what words could, and all the words in the English diction, what words could he arrange in order for that to make sense? What words could he arrange? What dialogue options would be so influential that I would be like, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I don't see how that doesn't make sense. I don't have any questions. Hands down. I have to go back because I feel like I missed something.
Begun back in the early 2000s, this cult was not only set up to exploit members, but also to do so in a rather disgusting way. But first, who began it all? Well, it was the work of Daniel Perez, also known as Lou Castro, a man born in 1959 in Aransas Pass, Texas. Somehow, Perez created a traveling commune that journeyed across the country and convinced his followers that he was hundreds of years old, an angel that could see the future and cure diseases due to his magical powers. All that is a bit strange, but there's more. Apparently, to continue enjoying his services, there was a catch. And this is where it gets a little hard to explain with the YouTube censorship, but basically, he would essay the people's children.
Chat, there wouldn't be enough healing in this damn world. Enough, you could have the cures for cancer. I would happily die cancer-ridden. I do not care. You could, that's what I'm saying. What could you say for that to make sense? Oh, he can heal people. I'm an angel, thousands, hundreds of years old. I don't give a shit.
Hard to explain with the YouTube censorship, but basically,
that could all be true, chat. It could all be true, and I would happily decline. I would happily decline.
Basically, he would essay the people's children. Documents from the Kansas Bureau of Investigation Sex Offender Registry showed that his victims were extremely young, and it seemed Perez had created an atmosphere where these kids would just be too scared to speak out. One victim explains that when she first met him, he had been charismatic and talkative, and somehow appeared wise, which made joining the communal, quote, family easy, as it was close and positive. Unknown to them, though,
you could not strike me at the positivity level. You could not strike me. There would be enough. There's not enough goodness, happiness in this world you could strike me with that would lure me into such a horrible environment.
There was a lot going on beneath the facade. For instance, it later became obvious that without any official source of income for the commune to survive on, Perez was committing insurance fraud to cater for his expenses. And not just—
I thought you were an angel hundreds of years old. So you spent those hundreds of years what? Doing nothing? You ain't have no money saved up, bruh? You have no assets? Hundreds of years of what? Time wasted. That's what it seems like.
Any type of fraud? No. He was sacrificing members of his own cult. Somehow, he would convince members, those with life insurance policies of course, that he would make them come back from the dead after he killed them. The first known member to suffer this fate—
you would have to like do it on like a butterfly or an ant or some type of you would have to, a grasshopper, I would need proof. I would need to see that shit with my own eyes. Cause I can't be the guinea pig. I can't be the first one up. They talking about, if you die, I'll bring you back. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, can we, kill that. I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna stomp on this spider. You gonna bring it back to life. If you do it, I believe you wholeheartedly. Because there'll be no doubt in my mind. I'm like, shit. He obviously magic. He obviously can bring people back to life. Not, you know what I'm saying? No question. But I can't be the spider, chant. I can't be the one to get squashed for them to bring me back to life.
Fate was 27-year-old Patricia Hughes, who it was claimed died while trying to save her toddler daughter from drowning in a pool. It was later revealed, though, that she had actually known she was going to die, even kissing her daughter goodbye and letting her know she'd return from the dead. This had been witnessed by a member who was 12 at the time and had been convinced to lie by Perez. Anyway, for Hughes' death, Perez cashed out her $2 million life insurance.
Jesus. Holy moly.
More deaths followed soon after, according to a testimony by a retired insurance.
No, I never understand when people cash out these life insurance policies. Where does the money go? Chat. I was watching this one podcast and people were like, how are you going to kill somebody for 500K, bruh? Or $1 million? They said you would blow 500K or $1 million in a year. Chat. If you waste $1 million in 1 year, poverty is what you deserve. I'm sorry. Poverty is a symptom of your stupidity, and I don't see a way out for you. If you are poor and somehow are managing to live on each day, that is blessings. That is blessings because you shouldn't be around, my guy. $1 million in a year. Do you understand how that works, bro? $1 million in a year. That is what? Let's break down the math. That is what? $1 million is 500K basically in 6 months. Let's break that down even further, bro. 500K in 6 months. That is like 250K in 3 months. Break that down even further, bro. That's almost like 100K per month. Break that down even further, bro. That's 50K per 2 weeks. Break that down even further. That's 25K per week. Chat, if you're spending 25K per week, you deserve poverty. Your life, you don't know how to make or spend money. If you're spending 25K per week on things that don't generate income, you poorness. You are the definition of poverty, of poorness.
Insurance salesman Bill Haddon, he had issued about 5 policies to the group members. It seems Perez cashed out on all or at least most of these.
How is it an angel and then he has life insurance policies? You don't need life insurance if you're an angel. That can bring people back from the dead. No one questioned this. No one questioned this. No one be like, maybe if we, it doesn't make sense to have 5 life insurance policies on me. It doesn't really make sense if you're gonna bring me back. He's like, no. I'm just gonna scam the system. It's like, why do you need to scam? Aren't you 100 years old? Shouldn't you be rich by now?
In 2001, there was a member that died in a mysterious plane crash in South Dakota alongside her daughter and her boyfriend. Then in 2006, Hughes' husband died after a carjack failed, leading the car he had been working on to fall on him, crushing him to death. In 2008, another group member also died.
I feel like insurance companies should, in this world, can we not operate out of a sense of absolute stupidity and ignorance? Can we not? Can we absolutely not? If I'm an insurance company and I see 5 life insurance claims on one person and that person suddenly, unmistakably dies within the same month or week of all those claims, can I just use my brain and analyze if those claims were taken out, especially not on their own volition, by somebody else, which to me is insane. I feel like all life insurance policies need to be taken out on the person, by the person who the life insurance policy is for. I don't understand how people just can take random life insurance policies on different people. It doesn't make sense. But if I'm an insurance company, can we use my 3-digit IQ intelligent and just be like, dog, you obviously killed this person. They're like, no, I didn't. You took out 5 life insurance claims and they died within the same month. You think I'm stupid? You think I'm retarded? You're going to jail.
Died in a traffic accident. Now, these deaths seem to have happened when Angel's Landing had already settled permanently on a 20-acre plot of land they bought somewhere north of Wichita, Kansas. But the fraud streak didn't
last. Wow. Now it's all making sense. Where all the stupidity is coming from. It's just making more sense. The Midwest, man. The Midwest. If you really want to build your life insurance claims up, If you really want to get to scamming, come to the Midwest.
Soon enough, Perez was on the run from authorities, abandoning the property. He got arrested in
Why didn't he use
2010
his
after trying
angel
to open
wings
a
and
bank
fly
account
off?
under a fake new name, Joe Venegas. This arrest saw him get 28 charges, including fraud, murder, and rape. Some of the charges were eventually dropped as he was convicted of 20 counts of SA of children, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and the murder
I don't
of
even know how you get 20 counts of SA of children, and that should just instantly lead to death penalty. That should just instantly lead. You shouldn't even be able to walk out the courtroom. There should just be a rope around your neck, ready to drop you. You know what I'm saying? 20 counts of sexual assault of children. Boom! And then we read out the rest. It's like rest just for the rest of the people can hear, just for the documents.
Patricia Hughes. In his defense, he tried to argue being unaware of what he was doing. He said,
I would bring you to the light. I would bring you to the light. You're in the darkness. I'm going to be like Jesus and heal you from your ignorance. Heal you from your delusion. I'm going to put my hand upon your head. I'm like, death penalty. You are now aware of what's going to happen. Blessed be.
For instance, that he suffered severe memory loss from getting beat up in Texas in 1997.
Oh boy, I'm going to bring that memory right back. I'm going to jog that memory up. Ooh, when I say you're going to get the death penalty, it's going to, I hopefully you start to remember. Hopefully you start to remember. Because either way, if you got bad memory, shit, you ain't even going to remember this shit happened anyway.
And so he didn't know where the millions the cult received came from. He also said he had a genital injury, and that meant he couldn't have sex with uncooperative partners, and that all his partners were of legal age.
Oh, that was your defense? Bro, I'm going to hang you by your toes. Hang you by your neck until it rots.
Anyway, where is Daniel Perez now? Well, serving his sentence at the Lansing Correctional Facility in Kansas. He got life in prison and is not eligible for parole until he's at least 120 years old.
We're gonna put that angel shit to the test. We're gonna put that shit to the test, baby.
Michael Brian Protzman's QAnon. Religion has produced a good number of cults, but cults are not exclusive to religion. And you don't have to look far for proof, because QAnon, whose leading figure was 6-year-old Michael Protzman, is a perfect example.
Chat, I was thinking about making a video between cults and secret organizations, all right? Cults, the difference between a cult and a secret organization, man. There's a big difference. I feel like all cults have to involve a spiritual aspect, have to involve a higher power being involved. A secret organization does not. They're like the Skull and Bones Society or the Freemasons or the Illuminati. Like, it's something that doesn't involve spirituality, but involves the moving of a society. Trying to control a society without being seen.
While the cult existed in the shadows of the internet for quite a while, it wasn't until 2021 that it caught the attention of many, including the media. But before we get into what happened in 2021, first let's cover the basics of their beliefs. So according to a CNN report that also interviewed Protzman's mother, QAnon believed that John F. Kennedy Jr., who passed on in 1999 in a plane crash in the Atlantic Ocean off Martha's Vineyard, was still alive. And even crazier, that he was secretly working with the then president.
Was he also in Cuba? Perchance.
Donald Trump, to save the US from an evil group of Satan-worshipping PDF files.
Damn. Let's look at the Epstein chat logs and make sure we're talking about the same people.
Now, this might sound like something odd to believe in, but it turns out there were a lot of people who bought into it. That was revealed on November 2nd,
Epstein flight logs, my bad,
in 2021, when members of this group turned up at the Grassy Knoll in Dallas, Texas, in hundreds. This is the place where President John F. Kennedy had been assassinated in 1963, and the reason why they were there was that
Dude, you can see all these people are just old people just wanting like to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because all the young people ain't gonna listen to their bullshit, so they're trying to talk to anybody. I don't blame them. I feel like most of this shit, like QAnon, is definitely just old people trying to find a community.
they hoped the Kennedys would return. As one QAnon believer told the news, they were there because, quote, word on the street was Junior, aka JFK Jr., would show up and introduce his parents. There was also speculation
Introduce his parents? His parents dead?
that Junior would be Trump's vice president. Now, of course, Junior never showed up because he died. But
bruh. Unbeliever, a QAnon unbeliever.
determined to see their course through.
Chat, there is literally no one under 70 in this whole group.
Apparently, a good number of the believers stayed behind, camping there for months even, still waiting
For months! For months! Jeez on bread. The dedication. Oh boy, he ain't like, oh yeah, he's a slow walker. What? Like, do you know the wealth? You know how much wealth you'd have to stay there for months? This is how I know it's just rich, old, bored white people, bro. Because there's no other group that could possibly stay there for months. Rich, old, bored white people are the main occupiers of doing just random shit for no reason. For no inconceivable reason. Like, how, why?
waiting for their savior to return. And it seems the beliefs got objectively worse with time, since they became a mixture of American lore around JFK's assassination, biblical prophecy.
Bro brought binoculars on a what is this, around? You don't need binoculars, brother. Like, if he's gonna come around, he's gonna come around in this, and by the time you see him, he should be like right there. I don't know how bad his eyesight is. He might need binoculars.
And not forgetting QAnon's own prophecies. An example is the belief that implied that the Kennedys and Trump were actually direct descendants of Jesus Christ, and that they had been.
Why is everyone a direct descendant of one of the prophets, bro? I'm a direct descendant of this person or that person. It's like,
part
why?
of age-old battles of good versus evil. Before we take a look at what became of QAnon, there's actually an interesting backstory to its forming. Protzman's mother, Colleen Protzman, who I mentioned did an interview with CNN for
no one under 70. Literally no one under 70 in that
documentary, revealed that Protzman's interaction with cults dated as far back as 2008, when during the financial collapse, he had begun researching about investing in silver. Apparently, platforms that push investments such as silver, at least back then, relied on doomsday stories to convince people. Faced with family issues and an uncertain financial future, he began leaning into the conspiracy theories, and soon enough, he was fully in. He even tried to convince his mother to cash in her 401k and buy silver. Further along, he was sucked into other conspiracies, and eventually he was just isolated. Then he bumped into Telegram. Since Twitter and
chat, if any of your like things start on Telegram, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong. It don't matter what the hell you're doing, you're in the wrong. You're the problem. Oh, January 6th, bro.
Facebook were heavy on cracking down against conspiracy theorists following the January 6th Capitol attack. There, he effortlessly built an audience after finding people who validated what he believed. So yeah, that's how the whole thing started. From there,
Isn't that so convenient? You found a group of people that just say the same things you've been saying, and somehow they're all right.
Grew and eventually became large enough to the point where they showed up to Dallas, Texas. As to what's going on with the group, well, Protzman actually died in July of 2023. It was reported that he lost control of a dirt bike at Meadow Valley Motocross in Millville, Minnesota, and suffered multiple blunt force injuries that he succumbed to. Second, even after his death, the group remained committed to his prophecy that the Kennedys would come back. And lastly, rather unbelievably, his successor, according to Vice, is a 13-year-old known on
a 13-year-old.
Online
13-year-old, you are now inherited QAnon. What the Sigma?
As Tiny Teflon. This girl,
Tiny Teflon. Damn. What the Sigma? What the skibbity? That's their leader, chat. They don't even know what the fuck he's saying half the time. Bro, let's squad up during January 6th. Guys, squad up during January 6th. And don't forget to thank the bus driver.
Girl was apparently a protege of Protzman, which he allegedly groomed. Her mission? Well, her duty was to recruit kids to the cult.
It all leads back to children now, does it?
Shoko Asahara's Aum Shinrikyo. Alright, so I've already brought up Aum Shinrikyo in this video, and that word, Shinrikyo, is hard for me to pronounce, but I'm still gonna try it. Shinrikyo. That's how I say it, that's how I'm gonna continue to say it for this story. So let's start at the beginning. The morning of March 20th.
But chat, I think we all know Shinrikyo, bro. I think we all know, you know, the terrorists that they were. Man. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, make sure to comment, man. And tell me what cult you're in. All right, tell me what organization, secret organization, shadow government you're associated with. You know, whether it be the Mormons, the Skull and Bones Society, the what they're called, Scientologists, something, bro, something. Just tell me what secrets you have in the comments below, because this is a safe space and peace, brother.